The meaning of justice. In the Islamic worldview, justice denotes placing things in their rightful place. It also means giving others equal treatment. In Islam, justice is also a moral virtue and an attribute of human personality, as it is in the Western tradition. Justice is close to equality in the sense that it creates a state of equilibrium in the distribution of rights and duties, but they're not identical. Sometimes justice is achieved through inequality, like in unequal distribution of wealth. The Prophet of Islam, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, declared, "There are 7 categories of people whom God will shelter under the shade of His throne on the day when there will be no shade except this. One is the just leader. God spoke to His messenger, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, in this manner, O my slaves, I have forbidden injustice for myself, and forbade it also for you, so avoid being unjust to one another." Thus, justice represents moral rectitude and fairness, since it means things should be where they belong. The importance of justice. The Quran, the sacred scripture of Islam, considers justice to be a supreme virtue. It is a basic objective of Islam to the degree that it stands next in order of priority to believe in God's exclusive right to worship, Tawheed, and the truth of Muhammad's peace and blessings of Allah be upon him prophethood. God declares in the Quran, God commands justice and fair dealing. Quran, Surah 16, Ayah 90. And in another passage, O you who believe, be upright for God, and be bearers of witness with justice. Quran, Surah 5, Ayah 8. Therefore, one may conclude that justice is an obligation of Islam and injustice is forbidden. The centrality of justice to the Quranic value system is displayed by the following verse. We sent our messengers with clear signs and sent down with them the book and the measure in order to establish justice among the people. Quran, Surah 57, Ayah 25. The phrase our messengers shows that justice has been the goal of all revelation and scriptures sent to humanity. The verse also shows that justice must be measured and implemented by the standards and guidelines set by revelation. Islam's approach to justice is comprehensive and all-embracing. Any path that leads to justice is deemed to be in harmony with Islamic law. All means, procedures, and methods that facilitate, refine, and advance the cause of justice and do not violate the Islamic law are valid. And advance the cause of justice and do not violate the Islamic law are valid. Equality in justice. The Quranic standards of justice transcend consideration of race, religion, color, and creed, as Muslims are commanded to be just to their friends and foes alike, and to be just at all levels, as the Quran puts it, O you who believe, stand out firmly for justice, as witnesses to Allah, even if it be against yourselves, your parents, and your relatives, or whether it is against the rich or the poor. Quran, Surah 4, Ayah 135. According to another Quranic passage, let not the hatred of a people swerve you away from justice. Be just, for this is closest to righteousness. Quran, Surah 5, Ayah 8. With regards to relations with non-Muslims, the Quran further states, God does not forbid you from doing good and being just to those who have neither fought you over your faith nor evicted you from your homes. Quran, Surah 60, Ayah 8. The scholars of the Quran have concluded that these rulings apply to all nations, followers of all faiths, as a matter of fact to all humanity. In the view of the Quran, justice is an obligation. That is why the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, was told, "If you judge, judge between them with justice." Quran Surah 5, Ayah 42. We have revealed to you the scripture with the truth, that you may judge between people by God has taught you. Quran Surah 4, Ayah 105. Furthermore, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, was sent as a judge between peoples, and told, "Say, I believe in the scripture which God has sent down, and I am commanded to judge justly between you." Quran Surah 42, Ayah 15. The Quran views itself as a scripture devoted mainly to laying down the principles of faith and justice. The Quran demands that justice be met for all, and that it is an inherent right of all human beings under Islamic law. The timeless commitment of the Quran to the basic standards of justice is found in its declaration, "And the word of your Lord has been fulfilled in truth and in justice. None can change his words." Quran Surah 6, Ayah 115. To render justice is a trust that God has conferred on the human being, and, like all other trusts, its fulfillment must be guided by a sense of responsibility beyond mere conformity to set rules. Thus, the Quran states, "God commands you to render trust to whom they are due, and when you judge between people, judge with justice." Quran Surah 4, Ayah 58. The reference to justice, which immediately follows a reference to fulfillment of trusts, indicates that it is one of the most important of all trusts. Justice and the self. The Quranic concept of justice also extends justice to being a personal virtue, and one of the standards of moral excellence that a believer is encouraged to attain as a part of his God consciousness. God says, "Be just, for it is closest to God consciousness." Quran Surah 5, Ayah 8. The Prophet himself instructed, "Be conscious of God and be just to your children." The Quran tells the believers, "When you speak, speak with justice, even if it's against someone close to you." Quran Surah 6, Ayah 152.